Okay. It feels kind of weird having this now. Like, my hands are totally free. And I don't actually need to speak as loud. Um, I'm also like, there's houses so close. Literally a house right over there. A house right up there. Actually, a tree that I want to climb. So, I might climb that after this. This is going to be a bit different. One, I didn't write nothing inside of the journal this week. And mainly that's because I've only had like 3 things that I really wanted to do. And it wasn't worth writing down. It was to get my jeans done, which they're looking really nice. Okay, I'm not going to lie. I've been spending a decent amount of time cutting them out, sewing them together. I'm glad that the sewing machine works now because my life has been so much easier now that it's working properly. That's really honestly the main thing that I've been doing this week because I was kind of stressing about the rap. I was kind of stressing about the piano stuff. And I had prayed, and I was like, God, I only have so much time before I actually go to Winterfest. What should I do? And he basically was like, well, count out how many days you have after Winterfest to when a week before your talent show event is. And so I counted it out, and I have about 2 weeks worth of time. And I was like, okay, what is this for? And he was like, well, if you just stopped practicing right now and started practicing after you came back from Winterfest, would you have more than enough time? And I was like, huh, I guess you're right. I would have more than enough time. So yeah, I haven't been doing that. I've also spent a lot of time on my hair. Anybody who does their own hair or has natural hair, y'all know. It's gonna take forever. I ain't gonna lie. Like, it just takes so long. It really does. Just taking out my hair felt like an activity in itself, and then washing my hair. Don't even get me started with washing your hair. Oh my goodness. My hair comes probably about right here, from like the back of my head. I know it definitely doesn't look like it. You know, I pull it down. It's a decent length. Let's see if I pull it somewhere from the back. It doesn't come down as far, because it's twisted. Well, let's see if I have a better. I don't know, is it? Yeah. So it doesn't come down as far because it's twisted, but if it was out and straightened, it'd probably be like right here. But with that much hair, washing your hair, that is not a simple process. Taking out your hair is not a simple process, and twisting your hair or getting it done is definitely not a simple process. Most of the times now, it takes me about 13 hours to do my hair. I'm just getting too much, bro. I ain't gonna lie. I might be locking up my hair soon because this is too much. I'm not. So I have to break it up into like 2 or 3 days, and then it's like manageable because a lot of it's just like how long it takes for me to be parting my hair. So yeah, my week was made the video, which every time I make these videos, I don't know what it is. It's like I feel the week, but then as soon as I'm like, oh shoot, it's Sunday. It's time for me to be filming again. It like it just goes by so quick. I have no idea what was going on, bro. I'm not gonna lie. So yeah, that's what I was pretty much doing all the week. And I also was doing other things regarding like the video that I want to put together going to Winterfest. Had to get interviews from people going. I wanted to, get still shots and other things like that. So I biked over to the church with my friend yesterday, and that was fun. And we went on a little hunt for water with inside the church. And that was also kind of fun because an event was going on, and it was like a women's event. And it's not like we weren't allowed to be inside of the church, because I've gone up inside of the church. I don't think anybody would have cared if they saw me, especially if I was like, I just need some water. But it was also like, we're not women, So we weren't sneaking around. We were just not being seen. So yeah. So for the most part, I'm going to go home and finish the jeans today. And then maybe part a little bit of my hair. That's about it, though. I think before I get really, really busy, spend some time with my girlfriend, and yeah, and start putting a little bit of like the interviews together. This week is like the quiet before the storm. I mean, it's still like a lot that needs to be done, but it's not like a whole I'm going to plan out everything and then do all of this stuff. Like, I get to be chill a little bit this week, and that's good. And the weather has been fantastic. Oh my goodness. It's calling for snow 2 days from now, and I don't necessarily know how that's possible when yesterday it was like 75 degrees outside. I don't know. Oh, also a new thing that has happened with inside this week. You see this guy? I bought these mics, so I don't have to be lugging my phone around like that anymore. Cause that was an annoying process, and it didn't feel very nice. Yeah, that's about it. As far as stuff learned this week, not a whole lot. I will say for the things that I was kind of saying, like tempted, struggled with, all of those things last week. This week, I've been like really, really good with them actually. And I don't know everything that I said. It was more like, I guess apathy. Yeah, apathy would be included. So like apathy, lust. Apathy, for anybody who doesn't know, it's kind of like not caring. You could call it sloth, sort of, but it's a bit different. It's kind of just like a meh type feeling. So yeah, apathy, lust, gluttony. Gluttony, for whoever doesn't know, is eating a lot, but just unhealthily relying on food. Lust, for anybody who doesn't know, is kind of like, well, the root definition of lust is a strong desire, but most of the times is inside of a sexual context. So it's like, strong desire for sexual things. And it's a sin, unless it's like someone that's your wife or husband, because you're not joined to that person. Not saying that I'm like, fornicating or anything like that, but like, sometimes I have thoughts, and I don't think I always do the best with chasing those thoughts away. Or sometimes I look at something for too long, and I don't think I always do the best at controlling where my eyes go. Those types of things, I'm being honest here between, me and my camera, but eventually whoever's watching this video. Dog barking in the background. I don't know if you can hear. But yeah, all of those things last week that I was kind of like, I dealt with them a little bit more than I would have liked. This week, I have been very, very good. And I think a large part of it is, one, when I go to sleep, I always play worship music. And this has been a sort of new development over like 2.5 weeks or something like that. And also just daily worship. Like, I have prioritized praying. I wouldn't say always daily, but it's kind of like I wouldn't say it's like a regular thing. More so, I've prioritized reading. Not necessarily always daily, but very frequent. But there's something about worshiping God and really making a giant priority towards every single day I'm going to spend a considerable amount of time doing this. It changes the heart. And the way that I worship, it isn't necessarily like I'm going to put on a worship song that's already been made, but I'll just sit down with my guitar and start singing stuff that I feel is on my heart. And in a way, it's kind of like prayer through song, but it is also like worship as well. And I don't know, I think that it's like compiled and is kind of like culminating, where I was quite, I don't know if distraught would be the right word, but I was quite bothered by sins that I haven't even committed, but just in my heart, it kind of was like, if I do it, I do it. If I don't do it, I don't do it. Like, I was quite bothered by that. Like, in the moment, I was fine. But then, like, 45 minutes later, an hour later, I just feel like this heaviness in my heart. And I felt like I could have cried at that moment. And I just went to God and I was like, I'm sorry for even just in my heart thinking that I was okay with doing that. And that's sort of a new thing. Now, I'm not saying that I've never felt that before, but for something that a lot of people would say you haven't even sinned yet, you know, that's new development, at least in that area of my life for me. So I am very appreciative of that. And that doesn't mean that this week hasn't been like challenging. Like I haven't been coasting this whole time, but I feel like my motivation towards doing what is right has grown so much more. And I credit that to worship. Yeah. So that's about it for this week. I mean, it's really simple. I don't know if I'll do anything next week because I'm coming back that Sunday. And I'm probably going to be really tired. So maybe that Monday, I'll come out and give you guys an update and that type of stuff. Which means you probably won't get your video until like a lot later. But you know, that's just from my 3 subscribers. Yeah. It's been a good day. Go read the Bible. And I'd say go read a book that you feel like is boring and look up like a Bible study in that book. And you might find some really interesting stuff. Because recently I've been reading Leviticus. And if anybody's read the Bible, they know Leviticus is not the coolest book ever. But I found some pretty interesting stuff with this. Where I live is kind of these trees right here. This seems like a decent little tree, maybe. Honestly, maybe I'll just climb this tree. Seems like a cool guy. And the reason why is usually these little like things, like branches, that's what I'm trying to say, stick out. They're, hold on, let me focus this video. It's quite helpful. Yeah, I'm trying to think of the words to say. But yeah, these are usually pretty nice trees to be climbing. So yeah, I'm gonna put y'all down and claw this tree. Okay. So, I don't know. Just climb up it, I guess. It's kind of hard to frame, but I'm thinking maybe I'm gonna climb it. Ooh, stuff already getting in my eye. Like this. Which, I will say, kind of like for these dead branches, it's not good to be standing on them like super close to the edge because a lot of times they'll kind of like fall down and break. Yeah, pretty sturdy-ish tree to climb. Don't know how much. Ooh, this guy is definitely breaking. I might just break it. Hold up. Yeah. Just so it doesn't break on me. So this is a good climbing technique. We're having fun. Yeah. Maybe you can, maybe you can't. I don't know. This was a cool tree. I'm gonna find maybe a simpler, more alive tree to climb. Although this one was fun, but I just don't trust these branches very well. I mean, as you saw, how easy it was for it to break. So, let me put down. Oh yeah, my camera's about to die. What am I doing? It's almost like I haven't filmed videos in a while. Adventure waits for the desire, not the attire. Woo! I just rhymed on accident. Okay. Cool. Alright, let's get a battery up in here. And let's go to a different tree. Alright. New battery. So now I'm gonna look for a tree that's down in that direction. This is the one that I was in, I don't know, 2 weeks ago? A week ago? I don't know. Cool tree. It really isn't even all that high either. It probably looked much higher. It looked better that day. It's, well, you can't really tell. Well, yeah. It's alright, but you know, the clouds are kind of odd in a way. But, you know, I'll take whatever I get. Yeah, I'm not gonna wait. And I also have found a way that I can kind of make these videos hopefully have better quality. Because this camera says it has like full HD, but I don't know, bruh. It's a little dodgy sometimes looking at it. But yeah. So the tree, I've never actually climbed it before. So I've been in these woods quite some time. Oh my goodness. Someone was tripping over some stuff. But yeah, I've been in these woods quite some time. And this tree I've actually never climbed before. Never even thought about climbing. Not even gonna lie to you. So it's just up ahead. And we're gonna try climbing it for the first time. Maybe I'm the first human to have ever climbed this tree before. Never know. Over this doodle water. Now we good? We good? Yep. And here is the tree. It's right ahead. So I don't actually know how I'm going to climb it. I just know that I am going to try to climb it. So yeah, let's get to that. Alright, so now is a little bit of the trial and error part because, I mean, okay, there's some sort of obvious thing to this. I feel like I should probably use this, which I guess is attached to the tree. I don't know. And that might actually be the method. Hold on. Okay. Let's try. Whoa! Big old spider! Hold on, I don't know if I want to climb this tree anymore. That thing was like that big. Maybe I'm done with trees today, I'm not gonna lie to y'all. Kinda killed the mood. I don't want to climb no trees with them big old spider. Hold on. I might be able to show it. Oh no. What the other tree I climbed had that spider. Let's see here. Look at that, bud. Oh no, that boy gone. That boy gone. Oh, it was literally right here. We ain't doing that no more. I'm done with trees. I hate trees. Not actually. Alright, you know what? That's a wrap. I ain't gonna lie. Maybe that's a time for me to go inside. Oh yeah, we done. Alright, y'all. I'll catch y'all next week. Because I ain't climbing no more trees today. So yeah, I'll catch y'all after I come back from Tennessee and go to Winterfest. Because, hey, bruh, I'm good. I am good.